keep doing that. It's okay.
Oh, okay.
You guys.
In that case. Beat you up.
Actually, we are live.
Oh.
But no one's on, so that's okay. We are professional, remember. Just joking. It's fun. Hey, it's Friday. Friday the what? I don't know. It doesn't matter. 17th, 18th. I don't know. Here we are. We're at Macedon. We got Courtney. We have Hannah.
We have Trisha.
It's me behind the camera.
I thought the mirror was still there. You're gonna see yourself.
No, then we moved that. So okay, so people are tuning in. Marianne says, "Hey girls, TGIF." Woo! Hi, Marianne. Say hi to Karen for us. So. Okay, so what's the game plan today?
So we're talking about everything that can go wrong with Iron Orchid Designs Transfers.
Everything we want them to avoid doing,
as far as
right?
mistakes, how to store them, how to avoid mistakes, and then we're going to do a little demo applying some.
Cool. Okay, so hey, if you're tuning in, let us know you're here. Just leave a comment. Tell us where you're tuning in from. Mm-hmm. Let us know if you've used IODs before, right? We're going to be focusing on transfers today. That's the topic of conversation.
Yep.
But the more interaction we get from people online, the more Facebook will help us with sharing this. So,
and the more questions we can answer.
Yeah.
Questions.
Yeah, absolutely. The more questions we can answer. Okay, so as of right now, we are fully stocked with all transfers for Iron Orchid Designs.
Yes, we are.
That's awesome. And today, I know we're going to do this demo, but why don't we start with maybe the top 2 or 3 mistakes people make with transfers, or that we get people writing us about. And if you can, just talk a little loud because that's coming in too.
So probably storage, something that can go wrong, and the transfer actually folding over on itself are probably the top 2, I would say. So Courtney, you want to talk about storage?
Yeah, so sometimes what can happen with transfers, if it's stored in somewhere that's very humid, very warm, what can happen is that the transfer, I'm going to pick up one of the ones that
Go right ahead.
there's 2 pieces right here. So the first piece has the design on it.
Okay. Oh, so it's kind of white on the back.
It's a little bit white on the back, but it's colored on the front. Some of them.
Let's
And
put it.
that's where you want it.
Which transfer is this, by the way?
This is the Wildflower Botanical.
Okay, let's just talk about that really quick because people write me on this.
Yeah, so this is actually a self-distress. So it's actually produced with the distressed marks in there.
It's intentional, so don't think that you've missed areas applying the transfer. It's actually supposed to look aged and distressed.
Yes.
It's not supposed to be 100% solid.
Yes.
And let's also, even though this is on mistakes, the back of the acetate where there's no transfer feels smooth and slippery, fine.
It almost has something to repel that from.
Yeah, but the design on the back of the plastic feels a little sticky.
Yes, it
slightly
does.
sticky.
Yeah. So
Okay.
what can sometimes happen if these transfers are stored in humid or warmer areas is this transfer that's on this clear sheet will sometimes stick to the whiter sheet that you're seeing beneath it. An easy fix for this, if you see this is happening, put the transfer back together, meaning put the backing right back where it was. Roll it up or
leave it flat.
Leave it flat. Put it in a freezer. If you put it in the freezer for, I think, like 30 minutes, it'll cool down and it'll actually come back onto the front.
Yeah.
At least it should.
Sometimes you
Sometimes
might even
it might
have
not.
to apply pressure on the opposite side to push it back onto the sheet that it's supposed to be on.
That's a very good point. And I don't think I have that even noted on the website.
I think it is on our instruction
Oh, it
sheet.
is? So good.
Just the temperature change itself might not be enough to like push it back on. You might have to physically apply a little
That's
bit
brilliant.
of
And this is really important. So let's say any recommendations, people are getting their transfers. Feel free to kick that little fox out of the way. People are getting their transfers. Literally, they're super excited. And UPS or USPS brings it to their home.
Yes.
What do we recommend, especially depending where they live?
Let it come to room temperature on its own before you try and use it.
Especially if you're in the south, in the west, the desert area. If it's super hot outside already, keep in mind the conditions that your carrier is delivering it in. So
Okay.
it gets normal.
Speaking of carriers, can you wave? That's our post lady. Have a good weekend. Okay, so I know I kind of deviated and you probably lost your train of thought.
No, that's okay. I think
We covered it.
covered it.
Storage. You want to store it in somewhere that's not humid. Same reason. If it's always in too warm of an environment, it's gonna on its own just transfer onto the wrong part. So you want it on the clear sheet. You do not want it on the white sheet.
Yes.
So I think that covers that issue.
Yep.
What else?
Another mistake.
Oh, go ahead.
This one's more for while you're actually applying the transfer. So usually you're going to peel back this white paper, you're going to kind of position it where you want it, and then use your tool here to transfer the piece on. So
a lot of times, can I just say, some people, if you don't have someone to help you on a bigger one, painter's tape, or just the biggest mistake a lot of people do, including someone who works here who went down to visit her mom, they accidentally let that fold in on itself on the back. Yeah, sorry.
Okay. So yeah, if you don't get it positioned right away, if you don't have tape handy or someone like Courtney to hold it for you, then it can fold in on itself.
Yeah.
And this is designed to be almost like an adhesive, so you can hear that. It's going to stick onto your piece the same way that it might stick together. And once you get it stuck together, there's no turning back. So you want to be very gentle.
Yes. And
Use caution.
Some of these larger ones, you might want to have someone help you because these do come rolled up. So they will be delivered to your home rolled together. So if you have a larger one, you can either slice and dice it like we've been doing this morning. We'll talk about a little bit about that. Or if you have a friend that can help you at least place it and have you tape it on there, you can do that. And that way it's not constantly rolling up on you and you're not having issues with it adhering to itself.
Also, can I just also suggest something? If it's been rolled up, once they receive it, keep the white and the acetate together. Open up the package and lay it flat like on a dining room table and maybe put some books on it just to sort of help it.
We've gotten our door ready. That's where we're going to be doing our demo. So you can see it was rolled in a tube.
Hold on, I'm going to go slowly so nobody gets whiplash.
And you can see, so we have it taped, but you can see it starting to roll in just because that's how it's been stored and that was its natural position. So you want to be cautious about that.
Okay. Let's see if there's any issues anyone's written us about, okay?
Sure.
So, nothing yet. We got Becky from Mississippi, Amy from Ohio. Say hi to Melinda Rogers. She's cool, very cool. Tammy Kakuzi. She's one of our artists in our festival. So, okay, very cool. So, you talked about application. I have one. When people are applying them, I think you all always recommend. I might flip this around.
Oh yeah, going.
Yeah, it's all about me now. Me and my haircut. Anyway, don't leave. So a couple things that just come to the top of my head. I know when you're doing your application, you always want to. What did you just say? Stop it. You always want to make sure. So when you're doing your transfer, you sort of start in the upper corner and then pull back with a 45-degree angle and go slow, because if you realize some of your transfer is still on the acetate, just carefully put it back and re-rub it with the little applicator. If you go too fast or if you try to pull it, I think from the top down, sometimes that could be, I think that's more difficult. So.
And you'll probably see that in a little bit when we're actually doing the door.
Okay. Oh, perfect. Okay. So I'm going to flip the camera around. Bye, everybody.
Courtney, do you want to talk about all the different transfers we're using? We're kind of splicing and putting
Oh my goodness, we're doing so many. So we are splicing and dicing because we want to create a nice arrangement on the door. So the first one that we're using, and the most prominent one that you're probably going to end up seeing, is called Midnight Garden. So there's like a little bit of a snapshot here. And
it's really wide.
Yeah, it's actually very wide.
It's actually 33 inches wide.
It's 33 inches wide.
But seriously, it's a very large piece.
It's, I think designed to be the width of a standard dresser, so just to fill your area there.
A standard dresser is in like a tall boy dresser?
I would say a low one for the wide ones. There are more vertical transfers, and I think those ones fit more like the Sea Queen one fits perfectly on a vertical tall dresser. So
Okay.
So,
okay.
Nice meeting you,
You
ladies.
too. Have a good day.
Bye. See you at the festival.
Okay.
So this is the one that we actually kept most of it intact because it's quite a busy transfer. So we only cut it in half, and we will. Oh my gosh. Dual purpose.
This is my dream team. Okay.
So we're using this on both sides of the door, so we just split it in half to kind of separate the pieces up.
These are more of like fillers, so
Yeah.
When you say fillers, you mean that we are utilizing these and we're going to separate them and strategically place them.
So the way
Okay.
they're designed, they're kind of separate anyways. So I personally wouldn't use it just as one solid sheet since they're all different directions.
Correct.
I think the intention is that you cut them and place them where you want them.
Absolutely.
And then this one as well, 4 different sections, so you can kind of cut out which areas.
And can
you
I just
want.
say something? You were talking about, Hannah, on some of these, you might even remove one leaf and then use the leaf in a different area.
And I actually did that on the window that we did the video on yesterday.
Just the other day. Was it yesterday?
Yeah,
Oh my
yesterday.
goodness.
In this bottom corner, it didn't really match up
Fine.
perfectly, so I cut off a little tiny leaf and just made it kind of flush at the bottom there.
Oh yeah, and the bee.
Yeah, the bee
Everyone voted on, most of them was
flying in.
flying in.
Towards the flag.
So, okay.
Towards the flag.
Okay, so should we go outside? Do you want to, oh, the carpet, I actually vacuumed it for you so you can sit on it.
Yeah.
Do we want to just move outside? Can you guys maybe push those?
Yeah.
And then I'll go outside too, because we're going to take you outside, guys. Sorry, it's going to be a little loud. Actually, I'll show them a picture of the shop. So, actually, we had quite a bit going on. One of our local churches had a garage sale. So I'm going to turn around slow. Hopefully you don't get whiplash. So we're outside. There's the banner for our festival happening in September. And we're set up. Okay, I'm coming back. This is our crazy duo. So tell us what you did. And you got to talk a little loud because it's so loud out here.
Yeah, so we have them taped up, and we had the white paper still behind it. As you can see, mine has just fallen right off for me. So you want to tape it up and then take your backing off. Be very careful, like we said, so it doesn't roll up and
Touch
fold in
itself.
on itself. And then I kind of take just a light pressure and just slightly adhere it on.
Only press on it as long as you know your placement is correct.
Exactly.
Because once you've pushed on that, you're sort of committed.
Yeah.
So this is one transfer that you cut in half.
Yeah, this was one solid sheet, and we kind of trimmed it where it naturally spread. So just that small amount of pressure will get it, for the most part, in place. You still want to make sure it's not folding in on itself. You want to get rid of any bubbles that have come up.
Can I sit on this?
Yeah. But then we're going to take our tools that come with every transfer to just rub and apply more pressure
Sorry for the bump there.
so we can peel the acetate back.
Okay, so we're going to do this twice.
Yeah, okay. Courtney, go first.
We'll do it twice because then they're absolutely going to get it. So we're doing this on the outside of the glass door. You cleaned it really well.
Yeah, Windex.
So this is something that's not a permanent thing. I mean, 20 years from now, I doubt this is going to be on. But if we're putting it on, and we'll keep it, and then we'll give an update on it every, I don't know, month or so.
Yeah.
And I guess then if you want to remove it, you'll just use a razor blade. I'm thinking you might want to start at the top. No?
Well, I was going to start at the bottom since the top is all taped up, so I was going to lift
Ah,
it.
that makes sense. Just don't know how easy it is to pull. I really love the color of how vibrant the colors are.
Yeah, the reds.
I have no idea what that flower is, so if somebody's tuning in. So Marianne's like, after you're done with transferring onto a dresser, you clear wax over it?
I prefer the wax. A lot of people think the pressure of brushing and removing the wax is going to be too much and it'll remove your transfer, but it absolutely will not, and it seals it in very nicely. I think it all depends. So we love the chalk paint by Annie Sloan. That's our go-to. So the clear wax works really well with the chalk paint, so that's why we choose that. So kind of keep that in mind.
So Courtney, guess who's on? Ann Sinclair.
Hello, Ann.
They are expecting a baby girl in September.
She's already got a little boy, and now she's going to have a little girl.
Congratulations, Ann. She wants to know,
Yeah.
could she use these transfers on her bedroom wall?
Yeah, sure, my dude.
So, and if you're doing it on the wall, it's not going to be handled like furniture. You don't need a sealant on it, but yeah, you could definitely do it for a nursery. Sorry that it's probably a little loud. We're on a major road.
Yeah.
How's it coming for you, Court?
It's going good. Glass is going to be a little bit trickier than with something like chalk paint because glass is super smooth. And chalk paint's a little bit more porous, so it has a little bit more to grit too. So you just kind of have to be patient while you're working with it. I just have my fingers underneath the bottom edge, and as I work, I'm just gonna slowly peel this back and see what was put on.
Hannah, do you mind taking this and getting a little closer, right down, zooming
Yeah, so you can definitely tell when you go to peel back the acetate, you can tell the areas that haven't fully applied. So once we get to some of those down in there, and Courtney lifts the sheet back, you can see some of those still lifting up in areas like right there. So Courtney's just gonna lay her acetate back down and rub a little bit harder in that area.
You really need to be patient with this.
Yeah, comes right out.
Absolutely.
Absolutely gorgeous.
That little utensil you're using comes with the transfer?
Yes, it does. So when people, oftentimes you get questions of how do I put the transfer on, this comes with every transfer, some of them will come with a wooden one, I think, but most of them come with the plastic, and you can use that to rub your transfers on. There was also someone who said they use a spoon.
Yeah.
You know what else? The
personal
paper
preference.
chef, you know that brown plastic square?
Yeah.
You know about a baking stone from
Yeah.
Paper Chef? And it comes with like a little cleaning utensil, and that would actually work, or a credit card, I guess, but
Credit card.
I think I would break the credit card, because that's a little thicker.
It is. It's more substantial.
This is fun.
Yeah. Try using the long edge, Courtney. A lot of people say they have success with that edge. I did see a customer, she did on a piece of pine wood, so a softer wood. You want to be careful because your tool can cause little divots in the wood. So you just want to use a little bit more care.
Oh, that's right. So you're saying if somebody's doing this actually on a dresser,
On a softer
like a
wood.
pine dresser
Yeah.
or poplar,
Especially if you're using this shorter edge and you're pressing
really hard,
and at such a stark angle compared to that,
yes.
you're going to create divots in that wood.
You want to be conscientious of the material of the surface you're applying your transfer onto.
Yeah.
I get it.
Sometimes with these transfers, because they're so busy, once you get it started, some of it will just go on and follow suit, which is kind of nice. Because especially with like wording and stuff like that, that can be a bit trickier because there's a bit more space between them. So transfers like this that are bigger and more full, I guess is what the word is, transfer really nicely.
Okay. So now it's interesting because Court, you started in the bottom left.
Yeah. Yep.
Hannah, you're starting in the upper right. So it really doesn't matter where you start, whatever you think is best and most comfortable.
Yeah, for sure.
And this just takes a little elbow grease.
Yeah.
On such a smooth surface, I find it sometimes if you are kind of applying and peeling back at the same time, it just gives a little bit more of a push for the transfer to adhere.
You're being very focused in your pressure.
Yeah.
I hope you guys are hearing us okay.
Yeah, let us know if you can hear it.
So Sandra's wondering, can I apply the transfer to a wax piece? And I guess what I would say to that is, if the piece was waxed maybe months ago or over a year, you may be able to.
It creates a little bit more of a difficult surface for it to really adhere to. I have done it on, so my piano, I had sections that were already waxed and sections that were not. The main area I was transferring on was not waxed, so it went on very nicely. And then I chose to take a little strip and do it on the upper section that was waxed. And it was fully cured. It had been a couple months since I painted and waxed it. It took a little bit more pressure and it took a little bit more focus to see the areas that were pulling back up. And even after I had removed the acetate, there was a little bit of bubbling. So it's not ideal, but you could.
Yeah. If it's possible to do before, then that would probably be the best way. Courtney's making a lot of progress over here. So yes, you can clear wax the transfer on furniture. When you're done, you can use the Artisan Enhancements, clear top coat finish, or excuse me, clear top coat sealer, or their clear finish. You're gonna want to pick the correct one based on maybe the color of base paint. Clear finish is recommended for over whites. Oh, and actually, Courtney, I caught that a little bit. So the yellow flower started to lift. And then you just put the acetate right back down and just reapplied it. So you just want to be very slow and be patient and stay. Don't want to be distracted. Right? You don't want to be like having to babysit a bunch of little kids while you're doing this.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, so you're gonna definitely want to seal them on furniture, I think, in general, because you can, and it'll help them. But obviously, we're putting these on our front, the doors to our main store in Macedon.
Yeah. So we're not gonna put a top on it.
Nope. And we're not the first ones to do this. In fact, this is not our idea at all.
I was hoping to remember the name so I could give her credit.
I
know Debbie's Designs. She wasn't
Design
the first,
Diary.
though.
Oh, she's not?
No, they.
But I liked hers the most.
Yeah.
I did. I really loved her shop door.
Well, because her door was really nice.
And then the pictures inside her store, she had some bright colored pieces.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're not. Please, we love using these products, but we definitely weren't the ones to be the originator of this idea. So.
Sure.
You're halfway done.
I am. It's super quick.
You making progress. We totally do not have fun here.
No.
I am probably the worst boss ever.
Oh, you're terrible.
Get to work. I love how this is looking.
I never come in on my days off for fun.
You're always here on your days off.
Even when you're off, you always show up. You can't stay away from us. No, seriously. But we appreciate all our customers too, because without you guys, I wouldn't be able to have them here.
I wouldn't have a job.
But we enjoy helping everybody, and it's fun seeing everyone's finished projects and how they use their color paint or.
For sure. Can I
There-
have a box cutter?
You want the box cutter?
Yes,
I got
please.
it. Safety first.
First.
Oh, and so what are you doing? Let's talk about this.
So this is what I'm doing. So this is quite a large piece of plastic to keep working with. So instead of having to lift up and lift down on this huge flapping piece of plastic, all I'm going to do is take a sharp blade, cut straight across, and now I have a shorter piece to work with.
Yeah, and then when you pull it up, you don't have to pull it with so much pressure because the
Yeah.
length, it's a cantilever. It's a lot less.
It's a lot less to work with.
That little, oh, it did go.
Which one?
On your left to the 5 cubes in. There you
There's a good use for the cubes, the grid. 5 cubes in, there's a spot that you got.
3.3 centimeters.
Okay, so which transfer again, Barbara Powell wants to know with the red flowers. And actually, Barbara, Hannah's transfer on the left and Courtney's on the right are actually one transfer they cut in half.
Yeah, we cut it right along the edge.
And you guys know better than me, what is the name of this transfer?
Midnight Garden.
They said it in unison.
We say everything. Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah, so Melinda, again, both Hannah and Courtney are using one transfer that they literally cut in half, and you can see they strategically cut it so that, like on Courtney's side, that bud and the leaf of that red flower, it's just cut strategically, and then if you were to be able to move it, which we can't now, but it would perfectly match up to Hannah's because this is one transfer that's 33 inches long, and we cut it in half. And we're going to be using some other transfers to fill in the little area in between.
Wildflower botanicals, ladies in waiting we're going to use, maybe the flora.
Yeah.
Parasiensis?
Oh, I don't know, but that
Parasiensis?
sounds right, Court. I think
It
that sounds
sounds
right.
fancy, so it must be
If you
right.
say it confidently.
If you said
Yes, if you have confidence in how you present it,
it works.
if you build it, they will come.
That's right. We build a flower sanctuary.
So I like it. Hannah's showing you how to use that little applicator. She's using it horizontal, or more of a landscape, I guess.
I think on the bigger areas it's easier to use it that way, but on something like this where it's still pulling off right there, you can just get a little bit more force with the smaller edge.
You're more than welcome to go in.
Oh, that's really cool.
Hi.
Just tell me, and I'll move.
Tell us when you're ready to walk in, because we'll get out of your way.
No, I was just. Where did you find those?
Oh, we sell them here.
Do you have any
Yeah, we got.
exotic ones?
No, but you know what? We can always suggest it to the company who makes some Iron Orchid Designs. That it would be awesome to get some that are more red, white, and blue patriotic, something bicentennial-ish.
Yeah.
Yes, because I need something for the Legion in.
But we might be able to figure something out with the Iron Orchid Design stamps. With the lettering.
The
Oh, that looks
wildflower
really
ones.
nice.
Say that again?
The wildflower ones. There's a white and a blue.
Yeah, you could strategically use different colored flowers. You know, because that's what we're doing here. We took one transfer, we cut it in half to separate it, and then we're going to fill in the middle with some additional. So can I just ask a question really quick? So, Courtney, when you're pulling that back,
Yeah.
sometimes a little section, maybe somewhere in the middle, is left behind.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's
you
okay.
You just went back and reapplied it, and
Yeah.
and it's not like it looks ripped.
No.
It just re-adheres it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. 'Cause-
Yep. Yep. You can see it.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you really can't tell. The only way you will know is if somebody accidentally allows that acetate
Yeah.
to move,
Yeah.
which is why it's beneficial.
Technically.
Yeah, or to do what Hannah did. So Hannah started from the top, and now she doesn't have any tape except she just did you see that? So she accidentally pulled the acetate back with her tool. That's normal. It's okay. Don't panic, and you just go back over and reapply it. I don't know if you got the very far edge of that, but
No, not yet.
do you have any questions? Isn't it unbelievably easy and beautiful? It's amazing what it does to.
Can I leave my junk here and go in for a second?
Yeah. No, you're fine. Courtney's cutting that as soon as she's done. Can you kind of sneak in? I'm going to focus on Hannah. Go right on in.
Focus on Hannah and I'll squeeze in.
Don't
My
worry.
timing is impeccable. Isn't
Amy
it?
and Diane are in there, so they can help you. Customers are good.
Yeah.
We like it when people come.
I'm sorry I was locking the door.
This is so fun. I'm not even doing it, and I think it's fun.
It's fun just to watch it happen.
So Cindy's like, do these work on wood finishes that haven't been painted?
Absolutely,
sure.
and one of my favorite pieces. I can't remember again who did it, but
I think it was
it down in? They're in the same state as us.
Alan J. Goods.
Ellen J. Goods, I think. Painted a dresser in graphite just around the frame, and then the drawers were natural. She used the Astoria foliage, which is a paintable transfer, so it's just black and
Void,
Yeah.
so you can see through it. It's
Yeah.
an outline.
Yeah, so then it was like the whole thing was black and wood, and then there was a design across, and you could see the wood showing through.
It was beautiful.
Yeah, so you can absolutely use it on the wood, and you can just do a clear wax over it. And the Annie's clear wax is made for furniture.
Yeah.
It's a high-grade furniture wax. So, out of curiosity, where can people purchase these transfers?
Online. You can buy them from us on our online store. You also might have a retailer near you. I don't know.
But also, where are we located?
We are in upstate New York, so we are in Macedon, which is where we are right now. We're also in Rochester's Village Gate. We're in shops on West Ridge in Greece, and we have a store right now in Baldwinsville.
Which
You
is
can visit
basically
Karen.
Syracuse, New York.
Yeah.
So, and then we have them all on our online website.
Correct.
So just visit The Purple Painted Lady. It'll link to our shopping cart. If we always tell people, as long as you order before 3 p.m. Eastern time, yeah, Eastern Standard Time, these would be getting shipped out today.
Yes.
Hannah made up a lot of time. Sorry it's so loud here, and honestly, if you don't have questions, this is cool. Feel free to stick around with us. We're going to just keep going in case someone tunes in late and they have additional questions, but this video will be saved here and on our YouTube channel. And if you have questions, you can leave them here, or we're always available. You can always call or text us. Will you go grab that 74121 thingy?
Yes, I can.
You're the best. Any other words of wisdom?
I think when you get close to the bottom, it will, if you are working from top to bottom, almost the sheet will try to just fall off. So just try to keep one hand there.
And you really don't want it to wrinkle, because then it'll wrinkle your
Exactly.
design on there. You don't want to overlap.
So I'm actually going to take a piece of tape here
Okay.
to avoid any folding over. Just go right
Oh, that
there.
makes sense. You're a little Courtney. You're so funny. What do you got?
I have something that will help you remember when we go and do our Facebook Lives. If you like watching us, but maybe forget that it's Friday and we do these at noon Eastern Standard Time, or you're in a different time zone and you're like me and can't keep those straight, we have a beautiful text alert system, which just means that we're going to shoot you a text 10 minutes before we go live to let you know. So, to enter in this, all you have to do is text the number 74121, the word chalk paint. If you have a smartphone, it's going to try to autocorrect it to chalk space paint. There's no space, so just make sure it doesn't do that. If you are entered incorrectly, it'll send you back a text letting you know that, and at any time you can text the word stop to opt out.
And that 74121 is like a phone number.
Yeah, so it's not as long as a conventional phone number, but I promise you it will work.
Okay, so now that we put this outside, we're not done. We still have another couple we're gonna put on, and we'll just we're gonna stay here.
Okay.
How do you clean these? Like, how would you recommend somebody clean? And we have to, because you can hear the amount of traffic that goes by our shop. It's a lot. We're on a state road.
Yeah.
So how would you recommend cleaning it to preserve it as long as possible?
First of all, use a very soft rag. I wouldn't use like a sponge with a scrubby side. And you can spray the red a little bit with Windex and then wipe very gently over the transfer. You don't really want to rub very hard because, again, this is on glass and glass is a little slippery, and it's possible that you could actually end up rubbing some of the transfer.
I would actually rub from like the center out.
Yeah, just like going out from the larger part of the design that doesn't have
and
too many
almost
gaps.
like lightly dusting it.
Oh yeah, gently, very gently.
I can see our UPS guy going back and forth behind us.
Oh really? Mike? What's up,
He probably
Mike?
wants to get in the video.
He wants to get in.
So you can see one mistake live.
Okay, so show us your mistake.
So I was getting close to the edge and I went off and pulled back, and you can see the acetate fold back as well, and took a little part of the design off.
Oh, okay.
Luckily, we're going to be layering multiple transfers so we can kind of strategically cover that area.
Word, Mike! Come on, let's see. There's Michael. Look at
Woo! Dance for us, Michael.
That's Michael Diamond's son. I don't know, man.
He's our lovely UPS man. So when I say if you get a shipping notification from us that our awesome UPS driver, I'm not just trying to be hokey in when I write you or coming up with insincere superlatives.
Yeah.
We really do think our UPS guy is awesome. So, okay, I'm going to flip this back to Hannah because... Okay, so Hannah, you said that mist right there. So you know what I would do? First of all, if this was on furniture, I personally would get my artist brush.
Fill it in with some
I would get a teeny little bit of green.
Yeah.
I would just make a slight little line in there, maybe with some cream, depending upon what color the piece was, if it was wood dresser, if it was painted. And I would just very lightly draw something in, and I guarantee you, 100%, there's so much going on with this transfer, nobody's going to notice it. Okay, so Courtney, what do you got going on here?
So we're going to add some height to the door. Like we said, we're going to layer these transfers up. So I have a piece from one of the wildflower botanicals that we have.
That was a long one.
The wildflower botanical transfer has 4 different patterns in it. So there's this longer red stem.
And I propose
Red on this side.
red on Hannah's side because yours has a lot of red flowers and
Yeah.
hers has no red.
So we're probably going to do the red and the blue.
Woo! Sorry, I don't think I've never noticed so many trucks.
There's so
going
many
by.
trucks. We're probably going to do the red and the blue over on Hannah's side to provide pretty good contrast. She has a lot of yellow, a lot of white. So we're going to leave those for Hannah's side.
Cool.
And then I'm going to leave those with you.
And I like the idea of that long, narrow red one
Yeah.
kind of
on
coming
the
up on the
outside.
outer edge.
Can
And
I
that
show?
means-
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
So,
please.
what I was saying about once you get to the end, it just sort of falls off, which is why I had it taped. If I had just had a little area left right there and gotten to the end, the paper literally would have just came right off. So
It's
Wanna be
good to use
careful.
painter's tape
Yeah,
or have a
careful
buddy.
towards the end.
So that's what we got so far.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are you going to do on your side, and how are you going to tie it all in?
So what we're gonna do is we like some height to this. We're gonna do height up on both sides and make it come down a little bit lower in the center. So I have this large daisy flower that I'm gonna curve in just slightly. So you can tell there's gonna be a few petals that are gonna be cut off by the door jamb, but that's gonna be totally fine. And then you'll see that his stem's cut off down below. But I have another transfer. I have these yellow daisies that I
Those-
might do.
I think maybe what you should do is, instead of doing the yellow daisies there,
What am I gonna do?
I think we may want to figure out what's going to go in the middle here and put, maybe do something.
Do them in, like in the corner. coming out,
I don't
or-
know, but something, I like the one where it's coming out from the display, because we don't need it totally tight there.
But I'm gonna start on the daisy. She's gonna start on the ring.
I like that, Hannah.
Yeah, I like sometimes when you're layering them,
Sorry, guys.
I like to actually take the white backing off, and you have to be super careful.
Not to
that
let
way-
it stick to the others.
Yeah, you can just see how it's gonna look layered over and get it exactly how you want it. So what do you think right there?
I think that's good. Do you need a piece of tape?
No, I am just going to take my hand again.
And let's see how it goes on the metal.
Okay. So I'm just gonna take my hand and apply a little bit of pressure again to get the design.
Court, you're going to want to make your
slightly
flower
on there.
more on the glass, I think.
I think I might make the stem disappear behind the door jam. I think the
Yeah.
stem of it.
I like how, Hannah, I'm going to go off of you so then
Yeah.
for a second.
I'm
So,
gonna. Okay.
so hold up. Don't go. I want to see you do it. Yeah, I think that looks good there. What do you think?
Yeah, I love that.
Okay, so I'm going to go back to Hannah because I wanted her to do some of this and see how the metal does.
Yeah.
And then we'll come back to you, Court.
So
Okay.
I will start on this side then. So I'm taking the transfer, and you can either wrap it around, you can take a box cutter and kind of splice
Do you want,
it.
is the box cutter? Okay,
Yep.
sorry about that. Do you
So-
want me to get something for you to kneel on?
No, I'm good.
You sure?
Yeah. So I'm just gonna take this right in the corner, go all the way down right on that edge.
So you're actually cutting it, but you're not tearing it apart. You're just
Right.
using that so it bends better.
Right. And then you can wrap it like
Oh,
so.
you're such a smart. Like, you're so smart.
I'm gonna steal it from you.
Oh, no.
Okay.
I'll be talking with an English accent now.
Yeah.
Let's do the rest of the video in an accent.
Oh no.
So Courtney's gonna cut hers over there. She's gonna squish it really in. She's gonna watch out for those little phalanges of a finger she has so that she keeps them. Working here sucks.
Yeah.
We're so serious.
Positively.
Okay, so then afterwards, Ronnie wants to see the inside of the door
Yeah.
looking out. So
On a sunny day, it might look a little bit more attractive with more light going through, but
yeah, but we are in Western New York, so sunny days sometimes are few and far between.
yeah.
In fact, we are in the home of Eastman Kodak, which most people probably don't know anymore. At one time it was, a mega house, but George Eastman developed his gray based on the color of the gray sky in Rochester. So somebody's gonna be
there's
walking
on
in
the
so
middle.
Court. You might want to move that. Oh, so great. So you actually it does adhere to the metal.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you know what? We're just gonna keep every month. We'll take a picture of this and post it.
Yeah.
I don't know how well it will be in the winter because
Right.
those are aluminum frame doors.
Yeah.
But hey. Okay, hold up, because I want them to do, and then you can do yours.
Yeah.
Oh, that wasn't smart. Okay, that was me.
So this is where I'm going over a transfer with another transfer. Still adheres, same concept there. Might even adhere a little bit better.
Trying to get a view of that. Feel free to go on in whenever you guys are ready.
Okay, thank you.
Just be careful. Okay, so that red flower went right over the leaf.
Almost seamlessly. I mean, you don't see any kind of halo around it.
No halo at all. And that was a question someone asked regarding the acetate around the transfer.
Yeah.
Do you see it? Is it like really obvious?
No. I find that on like glass would be probably the most you would see it. On a piece of furniture, it really blends in, and you actually have the option of sanding it very lightly to remove more of that halo. So, not a lot.
You're looking buff in that tank top.
Like Nora.
Show your muscle. Look at that muscle.
Like Nora. Norma's beating me with muscles.
So Hannah's little baby's 8 months old, and she is cut. She's so defined in her arms and her shoulders.
is.
I'm like, what the? Do you give this girl protein
Oh,
drinks?
she's
She's
just
a
so
build-a-bear.
eager to like pull herself up.
She's
and
lean.
crawl. Yeah.
She's got them.
But not
bulge
mean.
shoulders.
She's so nice. Such a good baby. This is so pretty. It's such a great idea. So let's think about different ideas for this. So let's say somebody has kitchen cabinets and they're really flat and they really dislike them.
Yeah.
Here's an idea. Find somebody that has like maybe a miter saw. I don't know what kind of saw. And they could literally cut maybe a rectangular shape out of the door. Then get glass insert to frame, to put it in there, and then you could do the transfer.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Did you guys come back to see the finished door?
Some people love it, some people don't.
If it's not your cup of tea, continue on.
Okay, continue on.
A cup of tea,
A cuppa.
English. She's such a goofball. So we still have 44 people with us, which I'm amazed because
Oh
you guys
my
are goofballs
goodness.
at this point. But
Yeah.
but this is unbelievably easy. Look how quickly, smoothly.
Yeah, and I'm getting towards the end again. I started at the bottom and then with the taller ones kind of worked your way from all different directions. And now it's gone and this acetate is just free in the wind.
So Heather's saying you got to top coat that because what's going to happen, especially with the winter and the weather.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I think
We're gonna
actually,
find out.
I
You
think
kinda
the
just have to
transfer will be fine on the glass through the winter.
Yeah.
I
think
really
the metal
do.
might be an issue.
Tune back in December.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure how this is going to stick on that aluminum. I think there's this is the most trucks I've ever seen.
Yeah. Of course, on a day like today, they decided to come through Macedon.
Did they not get the
sent
memo?
Who sent them?
Who sent these trucks?
Who sent these trucks?
Let's see here. Tanya in California says,
Hello.
in some parts of California it's snowing.
No.
That's you, South Lake Tahoe.
Let's not talk about that.
Oh,
Okay, you can apply it to wood.
Yeah.
Barbara Newton says her husband just had a she shed built for her.
Oh my goodness.
Barbara, your husband's on
Oh, that's like so fun. Barbara, I think these would be perfect for you. So can you just remind us again what is the name of the transfers we're using? And I know
This guy, the major one we split in half, is called Midnight Garden. So,
Okay, so
here
one side.
and there.
So the bottom portion, these are Midnight Garden. It was
Yep.
one transfer cut strategically in half.
Yep. And then Courtney and I are kind of using some fillers from the Wildflower Botanical at the moment. We've trimmed each flower individually, placed them where we want them.
So that tall one there with the red flowers on Hannah's side is from it. And you can see Courtney's was just, are those daisies or sunflowers? It's hard to tell.
Daisies.
Daisies. And now these are considered self-distress, which means there's parts of the transfer that is missing design because if you were applying this over a colored background. So for example, the white paper shows through as white. On the window, it comes through as just gray. Looks just gray.
So,
Yeah.
did we decide this one over here or over there?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Here. Right?
Yeah, I feel like that has a lot of yellow there.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, thank you.
and I don't know. I kind of like it like on an angle like that. What do you think?
I think you're right.
And then on this one, we'll just do that, and we won't put anything else in the middle unless you want to do some words.
Okay, yeah, that's perfect.
You got tape?
I don't need tape.
You don't.
Oh, we don't
you don't
use
need
tape.
tape.
I
This is
don't
dumb.
need tape.
Okay.
Now we're so
Oh
close.
yeah, that actually, the leaf of that actually makes sense.
Yeah, flows very nicely.
Looks very
So if you
nice.
guys have a comment, I like it.
Right there.
Yeah, that looks good.
Okay.
Are there any transfers with gladiolas?
What is that?
Gladiolas are a type of flower. It's Tammy Cucuzzi. So I tell you, Tammy. Maybe. Wait. Oh, so we'll have to figure something out because hers comes and touches the door. Not that it matters.
No, we're gonna use some more.
Oh, okay.
Just
We got some
last.
ladies in waiting.
So again, we're just here, the purple painted lady. This is our Macedon's shop. We did not invent this idea. In fact, we're late to the party. But it is such a fun thing to put the Iron Orchid Design Transfers on glass. It just really looks awesome. And I just realized that woman with the table, did she leave?
She did.
Oh, okay.
She's over at the Legion.
Oh, okay.
She's gonna be back to see the finished
I feel
product.
bad that when people go in, they're like, oh, we might be stuck. But
Yeah.
it's like a transfer competition.
Hotel California. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. You want to sing it?
Not today.
Not today.
Hannah's
she's
a
starting, you
singer.
can't
She's
stop.
a musician. She plays the guitar, the piano. She also plays the, what do you call that thing?
The accordion.
Yeah, that thing.
That's more on a fun time basis.
You brought us to the
I don't know
village game.
anyone who plays an accordion anymore. You're a riot. My grandfather used to play the accordion.
Oh yeah. Well, I
My
just-
grandfather was a musician.
Just like to be ready to join a polka band at any moment.
Are there any with birds and butterflies? Absolutely, Barbara.
Absolutely. In fact, there's a butterfly right here,
Okay, so
and then there's a peacock over there.
Oh, pickle.
peacock, and then the butterfly and the bumblebee. The bumblebee was on what was it?
Ladies in Waiting.
Ladies in Waiting. That's the name of the transfer. All of these are on our website, our shopping cart. Just go on to it, and on the left side there is options that says categories, and you could actually select iron or transfers, stamps and molds. I think it says.
I think so. So you can see the areas that are large like that are much easier. There's not as many moving parts. It just almost, once you get one section on, the rest follows right behind.
I must not pay attention. I just feel like there's way more tractor trailers going by us today than usual.
We're also usually
Sabotage!
Yeah.
Sabotage!
Oh, so there's a little mistake. No biggie. There's so much going on, you won't even notice it. So Courtney's almost done with her side. Court, can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Can you go on the inside and get Hannah from that direction? And then also, once you've zoomed in on her, then show what yours looks like from the other side.
Yeah.
It's Hannah. So on the back, you guys were asking what they look like on the back. So there is still some color showing through. There's not too much. It's a bit more of a all washed out color. Here again, you can see that this is self-distress, meaning you can see through that part, and that is totally okay. That's how the transfer comes. So the black is pretty prominent still. The color is a little bit faded, but it's still there, and it still looks absolutely wonderful. And we're dying out here.
That looks awesome. Okay, so let's point something out on this big blue flower. You see those horizontal, looks like scratches?
Those are intentional.
That is meant to be there.
That void is intentional. Courtney, go to your wildflowers and show some areas.
Got some areas over here.
Those are meant to be like that.
Oh, for sure.
Don't get my butt.
Okay, I think
Wow, that looks a lot of fun.
we have some more to add.
But we will post pictures
Post
after it's all
finished
done.
product.
I feel like we might want to do something coming down a little bit from maybe
Yeah,
on the
top.
outer windows, maybe?
We should do the prim and trim and do some borders.
Maybe, yeah, we got to cut that insulation thing that's just hanging there, maintenance, so. So this was fun. I hope that people thought it was beneficial. Oh, there we are.
Howdy.
So Courtney.
Oh, they go well with our metal sunflowers.
Oh yes, they do.
We got metal sunflowers, and now we have sunflowers on the door.
Yeah, those are great. So, let's see any other questions.
Let's see. So do you recommend putting them indoors? Sure, you can.
That's primarily what the intentional point of it was for, but you know, so many people are doing this.
Yeah.
I'm trying to read that.
There's nothing else in there. Well, thank you for doing this. Learned a lot.
Cool.
You're welcome.
Okay. I think we pretty much covered most of the questions. We talked about cleaning. This is a loud truck.
Loud truck.
So I am a little behind in putting out the new Facebook Live schedule. We need to think about that for next week. And I think that's it. So I hope everybody has a great weekend. We are always looking for Facebook Live ideas. And we're always looking for people to partner with and maybe connect with. So we could always do like a split screen. And if you're a customer out there and you have a business, let us know. We could do something and help promote you, you know? So, anything else?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Okay, bye everybody.
See ya.